Howdy folks, Spencer here, and today I want to go over the latest batch of news for STO on both PC and console. As always, chapters are listed down below. First up, for those of us on PC, the server downtime earlier today was just a restart of the server. There was no patch this week, and I know some of you are probably thinking, why not? Well, next week we have the anniversary bundle going live, along with the start of the Klingon Recruit Event and the next event campaign, which I'll go over here in a few minutes. So I think they have been working on some of the issues that have popped up, but they're going to be pushing all those fixes out at the same time as those new things release. So yes, there's no patch this week, but they are still working on things, and I think we'll see a bunch of fixes pop up next week. And for the server restart itself, hopefully this has helped with the lag a little bit, but if you're still experiencing some server performance issues after the patch, make sure to let them know. And for those of you that are fans of the New Orleans class in STO, Thomas had tweeted back out on January 15th that there was no plans to make a new variant of it because there was other new ground to tread, and at the time he had also tweeted that there was no changes to the New Orleans planned. However, in the time since that tweet, Thomas seems to have seen a lot of discussion about the New Orleans and appears to have taken up interest in potentially doing a visual remaster on it. So even though there's not going to be a new New Orleans in the upcoming bundle, there is potentially going to be a visual remaster popping up sometime later on in the future. And next up for all platforms, there is a Klingon Recruit event starting up here later this month. If you're on PC, it'll be starting up on February 15th and running through March 7th. And if you're over on console, it'll be starting up on February 20th and running through March 12th. There are no new rewards this time around, so if you already have a Klingon Recruit character, there is no need to make another. However, if you're someone that is new or returning to the game that doesn't have a Klingon Recruit, I highly encourage you to take advantage of this event. As with any of the other recruitment events, there's going to be some very nice benefits for the recruit character, and some other benefits that will apply for your entire account. The STO Wiki has a very nice breakdown that shows you what is for the Klingon Recruit and what is for your entire account, and I'll have that linked down below. But a few of the highlights here, the first being that you're going to get a Tier 6 ship, the Amchala Refit Bird of Prey. This isn't the best T6 ship out there, it's one of the weakest in fact, but it is something that you're going to be able to get for free very early on the Klingon Recruit. I think one of the very first bosses you take out in one of the very first story missions is all you have to do to get this ship unlocked account-wide, and while the ship itself isn't the most impressive, it does have some nice accessories. The first is the Enhanced Induction Coils console. This is available on a couple other ships as well, but the fact that you're getting it as a free unlock as part of the ship, so when you claim the ship on a character on your account, you can grab this console off it and use it on any ship that you want. This console isn't meta, but it does provide a very nice power buff for a short duration. So having that on account-wide unlock, especially if you're a newer player, will be beneficial. But the more important part from this ship is that it has the Withering Barrage Starship trait. This is a crucial trait for any cannon scatter volley build because this is the firing mode extender. When you have this trait on your build, you can have cannon scatter volley up for 14 seconds out of every 15 seconds. So very important for a CSV build, and typically the only way to obtain this trait is through a variety of C-Store and legendary ships. So the fact that you can go in and get it for free, account-wide, by just playing a couple of story missions on your Klingon Recruit is a pretty big deal. Now, the other really important reward from the Klingon Recruitment event is for those of you that are trying to go through and earn Endeavor XP to get your Endeavor system completed. There's going to be some Endeavor perk points that you can earn from doing Endeavors on your Klingon Recruit, but more importantly, once you go through and do enough Endeavors on a Klingon Recruit character, you're going to get an account-wide 10% bonus to Endeavor XP for your entire account. So once you go through and earn 1 million Endeavor XP on this Klingon Recruit character, every character on your account is going to get that 10% bonus. Now, I know some of you are thinking, can you make multiple recruit characters to get like a 20% or 30% boost? And the answer is no. Overall, the Klingon Recruitment event is something that you should take advantage of if you have not done so already. Another perk that you're going to get from getting a Klingon character up to level 65 is that you'll unlock the cross-faction flying, which normally costs $20 in the C-Store. So there are some nice perks there. Now, alongside the start of the Klingon recruitment event, there will be a Start Your Adventure sale. So this will be 25% off everything in the Slots and Services tab, the Uniforms tab, the Personnel, and Starter Packs tabs of the C Store. So if you have anything that you've been wanting to buy from any of these tabs, just hold off until the Klingon Recruit event goes live, and you'll save yourself a couple bucks. Again, for PC, that starts up on February 15th, and for those of you on console, February 20th. Next up, Cryptic has announced the very first event in the 2024 event campaign, and they've also announced some huge changes for the event campaign itself. I'll go over those changes in a moment. Let's take a look at the event here first. Now, this first event is going to be running on PC from February 15th up through March 7th, and it is a Defense of Pahvo event, meaning that you can earn your daily progression from doing Pahvo Dissension or Peril over Pahvo once a day for 14 days. So again, like I said, you need 14 days of progress to earn the reward from this specific event, and you can continue to play it after those 14 days to continue earning progress for your event campaign. Now, the reward from this specific event is the Pahvo Space Set, so an omnidirectional Pahvin Proton Beam Array, the Pahvin Proton Energy Torpedo Launcher, and the Universal Console Pahvo Crystal Battery. And alongside that, you'll get some featured TFO boxes and some dilithium ore. Now, this space set looks to be quite interesting. You've got an omnidirectional proton beam, and I wonder if they're going to finally go in and make it so we can get like the proton modifier on isomags and spire consoles alongside this, because the issue with proton weaponry, which has been in the game for a long time, is that there hasn't been a ton of ways to really go in and boost proton up. So hopefully, alongside this, we're going to see them change the isomags and spire consoles to give us that proton modifier. So the omnidirectional Pahvin proton beam array here has a 360-degree firing arc, of course, and the special beam array is capable of being enhanced with cannon special firing modes, in addition to being able to utilize the standard beam firing mode functions. So if you're on a CSV setup, this could be really good if you're also using like mixed armament synergy. Hitting an enemy with this weapon has a chance to apply a resonance charge to your target, causing them and up to 3 additional enemies to take additional proton damage. The amount of damage dealt by this AoE proton damage scales with the number of stacks of resonance charge on your target, and you can have stacks of resonance chance on multiple enemies at once. So it sounds really interesting. The fact that this can work with cannon special firing modes also, that's pretty huge. Next up is the Pahvin Proton Energy Torpedo Launcher. These fire projectiles that deal average proton damage and have a moderate recharge. Unlike most torpedo launchers, the Energy Torpedo's launcher damage is enhanced by abilities and items that improve proton damage, and not those that improve kinetic weapons. Hitting an enemy with this weapon has a chance to apply a resonance charge to your target, so same effect there as the beam array. And next up, we have the Pahvin Crystal Battery. This technology incorporates Pahvin crystals into an energy storage and distribution system that can be linked into your ship's weaponry. These crystalline charges provide additional benefits to your ship's weapons, including slightly faster firing cycle and reduced recharge time for cannon firing modes, as well as a hefty bonus to any proton damage you inflict. So that could be quite interesting. So it sounds like this console is going to have some haste on it, some recharge for cannon firing modes, and some proton damage on it, so should be nice. There's a 2-piece set bonus here, the Pahvin Interstellar Bombardment Beam. Call upon the devastating defensive capabilities from the living planet Pahvo. This version of the beam has been enhanced using special orbital technology, allowing it to travel the interstellar medium at faster than light speeds, but in the process trading off its devastating psionic damage for proton damage. The interstellar beam will concentrate on the chosen target for a few seconds before detonating in a large area for additional proton damage to other nearby enemies. And for the 3-piece here, it is enhancing the 2-piece Interstellar Bombardment Beam, which they're calling PIB. So it will take it down to a 60-second recharge, and it will cause it to consume all stacks of resonance charge upon hitting. The damage that the PIB does will increase for each charge consumed this way. So pretty interesting set here. And again, like I said, hopefully we see this set of proton weaponry here accompanied by the addition of proton modifiers to things like isomags and spire consoles. And of course, once you complete the event, you can go in and continue playing for dilithium and also event campaign progress. And they have the buyout here listed as being 2,000 Zen, which of course will decrease for each day of progression that you get. So if this is indeed 2,000 Zen, I think I'll be picking this up day one to play around with it on stream. This again sounds like a very interesting set here, so I look forward to seeing how it performs. And for the event campaign itself, there's some huge changes this year for 2024 that will hopefully carry on to all future event campaigns. The first is that there's going to be 6 events this year instead of 5. And the second change, the huge one here, is that the grand prize has been massively buffed. Instead of needing to pick between a T6 Infinity promo ship of your choice, the 2 T6 coupons, or the 1500 Lobby, if you complete the 2024 event campaign, you will receive all 3 options. So again, for completing the 2024 event campaign, you don't have to pick. You will get 1500 Lobby, 2 T6 coupons, and an Infinity promo ship of your choice. This is a huge buff. This is very, very impactful for those of you that are free to play, or those of you that just can't justify, spending the hundreds of bucks that these premium ships cost. This is huge. So this is making the game much more accessible to those that engage with the game long term. And I think that this is something that they should continue to do with all future event campaigns. Again, that is a huge change and is going to make things much more accessible for everyone. And lastly, I want to follow up on the whole Embracer and DECA game situation. If you're not familiar, I'll have some videos linked down below. But I think the changes to the event campaign are the first indications that we're seeing DECA getting involved with the development of Star Trek Online. One of the big things with DECA is that they really like live events. And with the event campaign this year, not only are they massively increasing the rewards, they're also increasing the amount of events throughout the year that you have to participate in order to get those rewards. And when you look at their website, you look at their secret sauce, they go over live events here, where they say, quote, "We all know events are a key piece to long-term retention and improved engagement, but no one else understands as well as we do how to incorporate events and promotions with content in the game's core loops." So, to me, the drastic changes for the event campaign here just feel like they are from DECA. And if you want proof that DECA is getting involved with the game's development, I've got some pretty hard proof here for you. Here's a post on LinkedIn from just over a week ago from Flo, who previously worked on Star Trek Infinite, and they posted that they're starting as a narrative designer at DECA Games to work on Star Trek Online and Neverwinter. Again, this is someone who is working on Cryptic's games, Star Trek Online and Neverwinter, but they're not working at Cryptic, they're working at DECA Games. So all of those job listings we saw up on the DECA website a month or so back that looked like they were for Cryptic titles do indeed seem to have been for Cryptic titles. And the question is, what is this going to mean for the current dev team as time progresses? I don't think DECA is going to step in and immediately replace the dev team, but I do get the feeling that we're going to see the older dev team probably phased out slowly over time. And I think that's why you see a lot of the Cryptic team right now going out and promoting each other on LinkedIn. You see a lot of them tagging each other on job listings that they see. You can see them actively posting that they're applying at other places. So even though things seem to have stabilized a bit, they are still looking for opportunities elsewhere, because I think they know long term DECA is probably going to be taking everything over. So I'm curious to see how it all plays out. Hopefully things remain fine for the current STO team, but we can clearly see that DECA is starting to get involved with the game's development, and I think the event campaign again is the first real proof that we have that they are starting to actually go in and change things. But that's going to be it for today. Let me know what you guys think. And as always, thank you to all channel members and viewers for the continued support. See you guys around.